In the latest episode of the HOLDAT podcast, Carlos Boozer and Nate Robinson trade stories about their personal NBA beefs and how the league is going through a soft era. Nate Rob goes in depth about his scuffles with Chris Paul and Junior Smith, while Booz doesn't hold any punches on former Indiana Pacers center and All-Star Roy Hibbert. Check out the full episode here and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. The following transcript has been edited and condensed for clarity. Carlos Boozer, since we are on the topic about getting real rowdy. The Rockets were playing Minnesota and Chris Paul and the kid, Gorgui, Dieng were going for a loose ball. Dieng pushed him down and Gerald Green came to CP3's defense and pushed Dieng down and everyone got into a little scuffle after the game and everyone got fined. Nate Robinson, man, that was a little pushing match, that wasn't no scuffle. They might as well played patty cake. Boozer, CP3 said he would pay Gerald Green's fine. So my question for you, Nate Rob, this is a softened NBA since we played in the league. Tell the fans out there if there were any players that you had a little beef with throughout your career or any real fights? Robinson, facts. Man, I had beef with everyone that wasn't on my team, laughs. Everybody that wasn't on the Knicks or whatever team that I was on, I was beefing with everybody, I didn't care. We could be cool after the game, but in the game, in the trenches, nah, I am beefing with everybody. There is no friends be. I beefed with Chris Paul before and got into a couple scuffles with him. When I was with the Knicks, me and Junior Smith got into it. He tried to rush me and I had to slam him up a couple times. Boozer, weren't you all teammates though? Robinson, nah, we were never teammates. He was in Denver and we got traded. He came to New York and then I went somewhere and then ended up being in Denver somehow. He rushed me and it was at the Garden. Melo stalled on my boy Marty Collins and ran. Boozer, oh, I remember that. He ran from that though. Robinson, he ran all the way down there with Neen and Kenyon Martin. I wasn't going that far. I knew my boundaries, laughs. When you get in the trenches, I am not thinking about fines or none of that. You have to be protecting yourself. And you have to have some teammates that is going to have your back. Chris Paul having Gerald Green's back, that is good to know. Going into the playoffs and knowing my people got my back is dope. On top of that, shout out to Chris Paul, because for me I had great vets like Malik Rose who paid one of my fines. Isaiah Thomas, who was my coach, paid one of my fines when we got into a fight with Denver. I am not encouraging to go out and fight guys. My father told me to never start a fight but to also never run from one. Shout out to the vets that take care of the younger guys. Like you said, the NBA is so soft now. You push someone now and you get fined $25K. Who makes up these wild-ass fines? Chris from the Suns got fined $25K for pushing Ricky Rubio. You can't even push or cough on anyone. Lance Stevenson, I want to know what he got fined for blowing on LeBron. It's just crazy. Boozer, when I got in the league, I was playing against Karl Malone, Anthony Mason, Alonzo Mourning, Kevin Willis. I came up in an era where throwing elbows, pushing and banging hands was normal. That's not a scuffle or fight. Guys like Ron Artest, I played against all of these guys in the prime. I got into a couple matches. But the guy that I didn't really F with is Roy Hibbert. Robinson, laughs. Boozer, I just never liked this dude. He walked around like he was Patrick Ewing from Georgetown. Like, no, you ain't that nice. I remember they introduced him one time and he had his hand raised up like he wanted more love from the fans. I'm like you, the same dude that I watched play against the Miami Heat and got no rebounds. How are you 7 feet 1 inch and play 35 minutes with no rebounds? I just didn't like that dude, so I would purposely elbow him just to let him know you ain't that nice. I played against a lot better. My boy Joakim Noah was smacking you up and down the court. So Roy Hibbert, shout out to you because you soft as tissue paper boy.